Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another Let's Play Disco Elysium. I'm Samuel.
And I just keep wondering where all the lorry drivers are.
I can't remember if this guy is a lorry driver or not, so we
Looking
are.
for something?
Oh,
He,
yeah.
he is a lorry driver. You're a lorryman, right? So what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Why not?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Ooh, this would be a fun one to pull on him.
I think. Is it threading the needle too tight, though, or.
I mean, it's either that or that.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't try to provoke him with number one.
Yep.
Okay, yes.
Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Ravishall, right?
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then,
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh, wow. That changed quick, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then what are you still hanging around here for? Most other commoneers have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kids sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
there was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some Kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
Bad for him, I guess.
It's a fucking travesty is what it is.
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge, you know. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. Suit yourself, officer. Hide your face in the sand if you so wish.
If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Wait, that street vendor south of here? That guy's a lorry driver?
Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood.
God,
He's
this
your
guy's
man,
as
right?
worse as
Well,
bad as the other one.
Absolutely.
Which is probably on purpose. They're literally making the two of each other mirrors, right?
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess we need to pay Sealing a visit then.
Guess so.
He grins contented with himself. Which means it's him, right? Like,
When he smiles like that, does that mean he planted drugs? Well, no, he'd never go near ceiling, right?
right, yeah. I feel like his level of racism is literally, I don't want anywhere near you. Like, I wondered if he was a lorry driver, by the way, but we'll see.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
So, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent.
This man will do anything to sell something, won't he? He's amazing. We're looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam.
That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry driver. I am just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
But you are a lorryman. Another driver has identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? It's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
He stops to think.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little.
Oh, he just
But that's
folds.
not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you forgot to tell me.
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Will, if you have not seen any footage of us playing this game, I highly suggest you go to our YouTube, Not a Soulless Plug, and watch all of the VODs. You have stepped into a universe of sheer insanity.
It absolutely is. And by all means, I mean, and Sam will back me up on this, his absolute favorite character is Kuno. And you'll understand why. I mean, call it like, sorry, I want to make like a Redheaded United or something like that, but it just didn't work.
No, absolutely not with that little... That's... Since I have the button, I'm going to use it. I've never hated a child so much in my life. Let me put it this way, Will. No one's a good person in this universe. And we've lost our mind. So those are the two things you need to know. Congrats, you are now up to date.
And on the losing the mind part, I want to direct your attention to the lower corner of the screen there. That is how our face is supposedly permanently stuck right now. So this is what we look like to everyone.
Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbor?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Oh, do I do it?
I'm kind of leaning more toward one. But is that too aggressive there?
I mean, it would crumble him quick. He feels like he just crumbles quickly, like a piece of paper. Because it's not going to be two. I don't want to go full-fledged F-bomb, right?
Okay, either one or three. I'll let you flip the coin.
Okay, if you don't know, then I'll tell your employer you've been selling his stuff.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there. After we've called his boss.
Nice.
Oh, Kim,
nice
bravo.
assist, Kim. Very well done. By the way, Will, I lied. There is one other good person in this game. It's him.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
We're buddies saying, help us out. No one will know it was you.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there, dazed out, strange?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Okay, we're cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detective. Both of you. You deserve it.
Let's see
The
here.
autosaves are still making me nervous, I gotta say.
I know, right? It's mainly because I figured it out. It's mainly when we make decisions. They're like, oh, you're not getting out of this.
Who's the one with the tattoos? Or
Good point. I don't know who the one with the tattoos. Or was it Tommy? Tommy might be the one with the tattoos.
it very well could be.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Grandma.
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
Snap your fingers in front of her face.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Snap your fingers twice.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality.
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of a cornered beast.
I was actually hoping you could tell me that.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Where else would you be then?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buendero. Until you came along, that is.
Right, I have some other questions for you. Police questions.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
All right, are you the lady driver?
Did you just call me a lady, Harife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman here.
I'm not that either, Harife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
So you're not the driver everyone is terrified of.
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
And then who is the female driver I was told of?
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?
Why are you scared of the people who used to know you?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
You said the long haul, that's...
The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just...
She hums along as if a track on repeat.
In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
That's all I need to know. Thanks.
Oh, Sim.
Show me the soles of your boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff?
Please help me out here. It's important.
Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't say please.
She's wearing sturdy workers' boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Now the other one, please.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
There's no abrasion in the pattern that you can see. She puts her foot down.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro, which happened 500 years ago.
She's not odd-soled. These are not the boots that made the prints.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. Her size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
We weren't going to ask her what she was hauling?
I mean, I don't think
The woman is still hunched over the railing. Her head sweat.
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Diamonds.
Really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
Okay, but what are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry.
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
What if the cargo is
Then
contraband?
it's contraband, Lowman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad hand. Hermenegildos's bad hand strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Jesus.
I love Encyclopedia. Before I came, you seemed away.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's the lady driver?
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Okay.
A pale dream is...
I kind of agree with him. I don't think it's her either. Which
I
now
don't buy that
means...
old lady act. I mean, yeah, she can sit there being as distant and wispy as she wants, dreaming of 500-year-old coronations, and I think that the woman in the wheelchair can walk. I don't trust her.
I mean, we could go and tell her what we know so far.
We're going to tell who what we know so far. Oh, Joyce.
Joyce, yes.
For a second there, I thought you were talking about Elizabeth, and it's like, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
Oh, no. Goodness, no.
Wait, should we ask Tommy what he thinks? Would Tommy give us a different answer than the racist guy?
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Yeah, Tommy is a bit more nicer to us than the rest of them. I heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. She may be involved with the drug business.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
I don't think we should nail him with number one, but I am
Right.
curious with number two. Yeah, what does she look like? That might be a good one.
What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
If you give me blonde.
Blue and violet.
Okay,
Dyed.
interesting.
It was Violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
Okay.
Wait a minute. So her hair was blue and violet dyed. Would this explain the green splotch on Elizabeth's thing?
No.
Elizabeth wouldn't be a lorry driver, right?
No, remember it was suggesting to us that she was a gardener before because she was hiding out as a gardener. So, artistic. Put a little green there, right? By the way, Tommy is the one with the tattoos. Look at his chest.
Oh, absolutely. I see it now.
When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Believe us, it really is.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
You said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
Oh.
Oh.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Push Tommy, and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
Fine, I'll drop the matter for now.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes, too.
Okay, are we thinking ceiling or are we thinking racist?
Yeah, we're thinking racist.
What about the lorry driver on the inside of the right? Or was he a lorry driver?
I think he was, but...
Looking for something?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Fess up. Where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He smirks. Just tell me which one's her lorry.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
So who does? The lady driver?
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Oh, do you think he's trying to move the thing again? Like pull the same trick we tried to pull on her and I was too stupid to not figure it out last time?
Are we just going to cross our arms and nod, or are we going to ask for a follow-up?
Who's Laputa?
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
Oh, Kim.
Oh,
Oh, you beautiful man.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
He tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends.
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. Be careful. This man's still got some fight in him by the looks of it. It won't be easy to break him.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait. Are there any other things that we can do? No.
No. Could do that, though.
Good go. Good go. Let's do it.
Deep breath.
Fingers crossed.
The
We got
main
this.
thing
Dang
is
it.
to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
The jig's up. I've got the goods on you.
Oh
Wait.
yeah? And what goods are those?
Your racism?
What is there to talk about? It's a racist world. I didn't make it that way. I'm just living in it, surviving in it. That's all this is. Survival.
Let's just go and ask Tommy, alright? We are wasting our time here.
We weren't high enough for it because we weren't set up for that. I hate to do it, Shay, but we have to.
We've got to shake Tommy down. Or,
We're not going to shake him
anything
down,
here?
but
Stuck in this damn jam, my
Well,
man.
not shaking down.
What's up?
What about Sealing? Is there any way that we can get Sealing to push more? I'd rather make him talk rather than Tommy.
what? Who?
Sealing.
Oh,
See if we can push him a little more. Tommy's just been the nice person. It seems like
I
he's
know,
genuine. Sealing
but-
is just. Sealing would sell you a broke down
Everything's
car to
still
his own
cool
mom, I
here,
feel
officer.
like.
yeah. There's nothing from him. So
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Tommy. We tried.
yeah, we really tried.
Or do we want to step inside the Whirling and see if that is a lorry driver and if he has any additional information?
We'll see.
I don't know. Why am I protecting Tommy? I am stepping in to protect a video game character. What
You
I doing?
are, because he's been nice to us, unlike the rest of these a-holes in this entire place. Yep, that's all. That's all he says. I'm so sorry.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? What? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. There's a ton of drivers here.
Put yourself in my shoes. I need this for another investigation, too. It's important. I can't blow it.
You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
Imagine it, an explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
God, I hate it, Shay. I hate it so much.
Tommy, we're sorry, man.
Here we go.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
Something breaks in him as he stares into your eyes.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own ends.
Where's the lady driver?
Here,
He takes a key ring from his pocket and looks at it before giving it to you in silence.
her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday.
He blinks, his eyes half empty now. I'm sorry I had to do this.
I bet you are.
And he's sorry. you
Oh,
couldn't
just
be
twist
what
the
he wants to be.
knife.
A good person. His last line, his revenge on the world.
Let's go, Kim.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir. I know it was hard, but you did the right thing.
You don't really think so.
I really do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in the RCM. Take care, sir.
Okay, we've got this. We've got this. Let's do it.
Would have much preferred to get that jackass, but
A lorry stuck
Wait, with
in
the
the
green
traffic
cabin?
jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued
Oh,
to
gee.
various panels.
what about the back seat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
You think this lorry belongs to our tough guy?
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over.
Okay, green cabin.
This green found, A to Z, contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our men pointed to.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Unlock the door with the key Tommy gave you.
You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just...
Open it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's
Ooh.
a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
Admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tip Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too.
Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Examine the radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range, too.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is here?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
Check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Ooh.
Yes?
Dun 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 dun.
He likes where this is going.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
She was also... Wait, the missing 8th Hardy here?
Looks like her, yes.
And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
I'm kind of leaning more toward number 4, but that feels too diplomatic. And just because she has sandpaper on hers doesn't mean that someone else might not. So it's entirely, yeah. It would still have to be a lorry driver, not necessarily this one. But yeah, I'm trying to reach.
Yeah. Not necessarily the lady driver could have kept the drug trade a secret. Because I don't think you tell an entire group of people that. It feels like something you keep to a very specific group of people.
Wait a minute. And now I'm getting really uneasy. Does this mean that she potentially lied about the hard R? And is that why she got the Hardy Boys to kill that person? Potentially?
Let's hope not. That would explain why she would be in the mental area that Tommy's telling us she was in, though. Running a drug trade, having that happen to you, that would not be a good set of circumstances.
What about, and because we think that she might be changing her hair color, what about the blonde-haired lady that you were alluding to, the one that's staying right next to us in the hotel?
It's possible, to be honest. Not necessarily. I'm more to go for 3, because I don't think you tell an entire union, "Hey guys, we're drug runners," right? No, that doesn't work.
Especially if you got a strike going on, that it feels like someone would have cracked, or maybe that's how they're able to go on strike. They're just extorting money from the drug runners.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, this is shutting down the drug trade. Well, no, it's shutting down the drug trade because of Joyce.
Well, the ones on strike, the people that have The ones on strike are the people that want to go back to work instead of the union. So,
Yeah, my mind is just not putting all the pieces together here. If you think number 3, let's go with number 3.
You're right. But we should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air.
pull out the pull-out toolbox.
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Unfold the newspaper.
It's an issue of Periphérique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
His thought trails off.
The pull-out tool slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes. Close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Sure.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
So it turns out this is connected to the Union.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
What about all the movie posters? How did they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephile.
Yes, well...
He doesn't say more.
Unimportant.
Okay, debrief over?
Debrief over, after you.
Do we want to talk to old lady one more time?
What do you think we're going to get? Sorry for the sight. What do you think we're going to get out of her?
No, I'm just thinking like she was wispy, like going to see movies, talking about old stars. Is this an actress?
The woman is still
Or
hunched over.
not an actress,
Huh?
you know what I mean?
What is it? What
Nope.
do you want?
Nothing new.
We don't even want to ask her about the drug trade.
I really don't, because that feels like a very insulting question that's like, no, I don't think she knows anything about it, to be honest.
She had purple or blue hair, she had violet hair, and maybe she dyed it gray.
Oh, jeez. No, somehow I don't
Wait.
think so.
What if... what color does the teenager behind... No, it couldn't be the teenager.
Purple.
Sorry. Okay. And the dice maker had been there for 14 years, so it's not likely to be her. Unless she was
Okay.
lying.
Order of operations. Do we want to talk to
Yes.
her first, or do we want to talk to all of the workers first? Feel like we might have more to slam on them if we talk to her first.
Okay, let's go and talk to her first.
Okay. I was just wanting to make sure you were agreeing on that particular one, because I could totally be off.
And Cindy the Skull is not someone we should be worried about, right?
I hope not.
What
Right
color's
now.
her hair? No, it's just dark.
I think.
I don't like that the music now sounds ominous.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Let the lieutenant handle it, I think. Kim's
Yes.
pretty dang good at this.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Iron and strawberries? What is with the writing in this game?
That's the half-light. What I love is that one guy is voice acting all these different aspects of our brain, and yet he's totally playing these different characters, right? You know, it's so interesting. I've already... What was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell,
Oh, jeez.
an Olanese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
Shay, I'm gonna hate this.
Go for it. Let's go. Let's go.
No, I'm not. But let me put it this way. I have a feeling me and you are going to have a friendly conversation about this later. Haha! tscn.tv/AFC. Anyway.
Well plugged. Well plugged.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Tempted.
No.
Really tempted.
Yeah.
This one really is what I want to say, though.
hmm
You,
Oh, it's not her that's made the mess here. She didn't want them there, right?
well, yeah. Boy, oh boy, that not good.
It's not good. No. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men
Jesus.
work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
I'm kind of curious on number 3. Are you thinking number 2?
I mean, you're right. It is feeling a bit inevitable at this point, right? The mess has been made. The fuses are starting to go out.
It's about to come.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like this. Nameless, badgeless officer of the citizens' militia. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
What can you tell me about Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay, anything you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contact the company, tell them to call it off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
What did the teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret in her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out.
She
For
puts
one,
her...
they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Okay, we'll steer clear for the moment.
That's wise. Our goal is to avert catastrophe. Besides, you're likely to encounter them sooner or later.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There's a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a Trigat not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet. Observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. the stars.
Of course. She sails a boat. She would know things like that.
I can't.
Brilliant.
But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What's the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
This one's flown quite far by now.
I would say he's near the Arcade Islands by now, ready to exit the Insulindian and into the Pale, if I've read his home address correctly.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semnes Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Easlary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
You wouldn't even know where to start.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Thank you. That's all for now.
Well, that's a lot of information. And also, I like that she also said that it's only secondhand about what the guard was, or the colonel was accused of. So we don't know if it actually happened or not.
Right. Well, I found something. But what have I found? We'll have to find out next time. If you guys want to find all of our other Let's Plays, head on over to tscn.tv/play. And until next time, play on and see you guys.
Later.
This has been a production of the Samcast Network, tscn.tv. What's your passion?